evening. I hope you're all very safe out here. Man, this shit is just blown up today, right? Literally. So, Mexico and Cuba maybe next? Yeah. So, people keep asking what I think about this. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Y'all are calling this a war. This was the most efficient, successful, and strategic war ever. It lasted a whole fucking hour, and we took their fucking leader out. No Americans killed whatsoever. Took out their leader in 1 hour. Y'all keep saying this is a war. It's Venezuela. There's not going to be a fucking war. We're just going to go conquer them. That's all there is to it. There's nothing they can do to stop us. It's fucking Venezuela, in Cuba, in Mexico. So I'm going to go ahead and get into and start reading because we got a lot to go through because everybody's covering this right now. Trump strikes Venezuela, captures Maduro and First Lady. The United States attacked Venezuela's capital, Caracas, Saturday morning and captured President Nicolas Maduro, along with his wife, First Lady Celia Flores. President Donald Trump announced the operation on Truth Social, which we're all okay with, by the way. Whatever. We wish he was doing this more, towards the socialists in America, but hey, you get what you get. But in a moment here, we're going to get into exactly why we just attacked Venezuela. And it's not about drugs. It's not about oil. It's about something very great that's going to happen in 2028. The United States attacked Venezuela. The United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown to the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. Say, this was the earlier news, and then we're going to get, my God, there's so many fucking stories on this tonight. We're going to try to get to all of them tonight because I might take a little day off tomorrow. I haven't had one in quite some time. Why did it go back to this story? Well, what just happened, Libby, with post-millennial? All your news went back to yesterday's news when I Okay. Dems call for the removal of Trump over Maduro capture, while Venezuela literally is in the largest number of people you've seen in the streets anywhere right now, celebrating, clapping, and having a good time. They're loving this. They're absolutely ecstatic that we did this. Keep in mind, Maduro stopped all elections in Venezuela. They haven't had a fucking election in years, so they're not planning on having another election under Maduro. It's going to get interesting from here on out. But listen, we told you this was going to happen. Mexico's going to be next. Cuba's going to be after that. You leftists are going to get it after that. We want you to understand, when we told you soon action was going to start getting taken on everything, wait until you see the news comes out. All the people that have been getting arrested today in America for the fraud, for being a part of all of the stuff from 2020. But like 19 people got arrested in America today as well. Nobody's talking about that, though, because this trumps that. Literally trumps it. So Trump says U.S. energy companies will assume control and invest billions in Venezuela oil industry, which, hey, we're having a money problem in America. We're having a amount of people problem. This will help a lot. This will help massively. But this isn't why we did this. We'll just go ahead and get into why we did this. I got a question for you. Who built the Smartmatic voting machines from the 2020 election? Who was implicated in helping steal the election in 2020? Venezuela. Okay, they stopped making the Smartmatic voting machines in 2018. The machines that we use for our elections were made in Venezuela for the 2020 election. It's already been implicated that Venezuela helped steal the election in 2020. So, could this be Strategically, by the way, this was the very best tactical enforcement that America's ever done. Do you understand this? 1 hour, in, out, got the leader of the fucking country, no casualties on the American side whatsoever. That's fucking amazing, bro. This is exactly what I told you Biden should have done when the hostages were taken, and we would have had him back like that. But no, he was a feckless coward of a pussy that liked to sniff kids and shoot adrenochrome into his fucking asshole more than he wanted to help this country. So, Venezuela's right next to America. 24 hours before we attacked Venezuela, Xi Jinping was in Venezuela for 9 hours having a meeting with Venezuela talking about backing them against America. Boom, we went and took that motherfucker out. That stopped that, didn't it? A lot of people are saying that this was a ploy, that Donald Trump made a deal with Xi Jinping and fucking with Russia to allow them to take Taiwan and take Ukraine. I don't see that. I don't see that. Donald Trump has too much of an ego for that. If they try to take those countries, I think we'll just do the same motherfucking thing to them. And China would be ecstatic if we took their government out. Holy fuck. We wouldn't have that enemy anymore. Cuba, I know y'all remember, I was taking solar panels and generators to the Cuban people when the fucking their commies took over there during the last election. And we were getting shot at going onto the fucking coast over there. They need to be fucking dealt with. Listen, here's what happens when you make all the other countries great. Guess what? It means we can send all these motherfuckers home. And you can't complain about it, right? Because they're not oppressed in their countries anymore. We take Venezuela, we change it, we send them all home. We take Cuba, we change it, send them all home. Because Cubans hate us regardless of what you think or not. They're not the same as all the other ones, but Cubans treat us like shit down here in Florida. We're overran by them, okay? Fucking all these countries we conquer, I would rather be a conqueror than a pussy. Let's put it that way. You know what I'm saying? Would I rather see this happening to you fucking asshole socialists in this country? Abso-fucking-lutely. And that's the sad fact of the matter. In 2026, you have pushed us so far that if Trump does something like this in America, all you want to do is murder us. You make that very clear. You're protesting in Times Square right now. We're going to get in that in a minute here. I got videos of that and all kinds of shit. You're protesting in Times Square for a fucking actual socialist dictator. So you've shown what your allegiance are for the past 8-10 years now. You've shown your allegiance are to other countries, not to America. So as far as good, law-abiding, red-blooded, America first, MAGA-loving patriots, you're the enemy in 2026. They just arrested more people today trying to kill some of us here in America. 19 people were arrested today involved with threatening to murder people over the internet. Every day, you motherfuckers are getting arrested. But here's the beauty of it. We know the difference between putting it out in the open to where you go riot and loot because it's happening and sneaking up behind you in the middle of the night, choking you the fuck out and just taking you. That's the difference between you and us. The last thing you hear is a whisper in your ear and then everything goes black. You dumb motherfuckers post everything you're doing on the internet. Come on, even you leftists have to admit, this was impressive as fuck. This was fucking super impressive. Nobody knew it was going to happen. Delta Force and the CIA, which let's be realistic, the CIA sat in a fucking tent, just like they do in every other country we're in war at, and told everybody they're the ones who had the information and the intel. The fucking CIA didn't go in. The fucking Delta Force went in, which is our tier 1, by the way. This is the tip of the spear that went in and did this. 1 hour they took the leader of a country in 1 hour. That's a good night. That's a good day. That's a good day. Not only in 1 hour, in 1 hour, the leader was landing on our soil. And now they get to have elections. Now they get to make money again. But you're bitching about that. You're complaining about taking out an actual criminal enemy. You're complaining about that too. So I think we need to officially put TDS in the DSM-5, because it's a real fucking thing, clearly. A real fucking thing. Because you're taking up for the Mexican cartels now, because we're saying they're next. But we made that very clear in the first place through the whole campaign that we were going to go after the Mexican cartels. Donald Trump ran part of his campaign on that. We knew this was going to happen. He said all of this stuff. Just because you live in a fucking bubble that's about this big around with your mouth sewed to each other's assholes like a human centipede so you can regurgitate the same old shit over and over and over again doesn't mean that we don't pay attention to what the fuck's going on. And we've been saying for 8 years now, we need to get back to being conquerors. Why is everywhere else so fucked up, but we're not? And all the people that come from these places fuck our shit up, okay? Our shit wasn't fucked up like this before we opened these borders all up. We didn't have people getting murdered in the streets and people building bombs on a daily basis ready to take out thousands of people before we opened the fucking borders up. Countries are now banning burqas and Muslims in their fucking countries, the ones that let them come in before we did. All of the European countries, the Asian countries. In Ireland today, while they were doing their 5 o'clock mass, you know what the Irish were doing? They were out there with their loud ass bagpipes fucking trolling those motherfuckers, and they literally stopped praying. So something can be done. You just got to get the fuck up and do it. Let's get back into some more Venezuela. Oh, so much on here. Oh, wait, let's talk about this weird story. This is fucking weird. Pennsylvania man sentenced to 6 years for purchasing, not drugs, stolen body parts from woman he met in Oddities Facebook group. Stolen body parts. First of all, why the fuck are you buying body parts? And second of all, why the fuck does somebody have body parts to sell? That should be a question, right? It's not a question in the story, but that should be a fucking question. Why do you have body parts to sell to a person? And where did they get stolen from? Like, did you cut somebody's arm and fucking leg off and sell it to somebody, or did you steal it from a fucking morgue somewhere? That's what I want to know, but they don't give you any of those details. But that's just a weird story that happened today that nobody's talking about. We're now selling body parts to people on fucking Facebook. Fuck. Well, I need a new lung to get rid of this tumor that's on here. Facebook, what's up? Let me get that lung, man. Holy fuck. If I can get a lung for $500 on Facebook, I'll get off that motherfucking list, bro. That'd be great. Trump says energy companies, blah, blah, blah. Trump signs Mexican cartels maybe next. After Maduro, something is going to have to be done. We already know they're next the moment he said that. So pay attention from right now, okay, because is it the vice president of Venezuela? Where's it at? Vice president of Venezuela is demanding we give back Maduro. Go fuck yourself. That's our answer. No. Come take him. Come get some. You already found out once. Do you want to really find out a second time, Venezuela? We're at war. We're at war. We're not at fucking war. It's Venezuela, people. Stop saying we're at war. Fuck, man. They rape children. All Muslims rape children. It's a religious fucking practice for them. The day you turn 9 years old in the Muslim religion, you could be fucked. That's all I needed to know. If I didn't also know that anyone that's an unbeliever has to be fucking murdered, and it's the practice called taqiyya, T-A-Q-Q-I-Y-A, the practice of lying to the infidel and the unbeliever to get infiltrated into their country. And in the Quran, it states, if your wife is disagreeable with you before you go to bed, in the morning, if you're still disagreeable, strike that bitch in the fucking face until you agree with her. What the fuck? Under Sharia law, if a woman uncovers her face and speaks in public without a man's permission, she could be beaten with 2x4s and stoned and beat to death. And if that doesn't satisfy you, guess what? You get to drag her into the middle of the fucking city, and all of your neighbors will help you beat the fuck out of her. Where you at, feminists? I've played these videos for you. I've shown you this shit happening in real time in motherfucking Dearborn, Michigan, bro. in Dearborn, Michigan, on American fucking soil. So, plain and simple, their religion is not compatible with anybody's laws, except for Muslim countries. That's it. Somalians are the grossest, most inbred, retarded people in the fucking world. And that's saying a lot, because we got Africa out there, we got cannibals that eat people for fun in Haiti called barbecue that took over the country and was fucking eating people for fun. They're not sustainable fucking cannibals. They were eating people to make other people fear them. What the actual fuck? You know what I mean? That's how civilized these other countries are. These Haitians and these fucking Somalis. The Somalis are the most generationally inbred people in the world, so much so that their average IQ is 67 or below. Functionally retarded in America is 70 to 80. 70 to 80 is functionally retarded in America. Okay? So understand, they're not compatible with our country. Oh, Muslims are Americans too? No, they're not. They're literally not. At all. I mean, the religions, if you're not compatible with our laws, you can't be in our country. If you're a Muslim, you can't give up your allegiance to a Muslim country. It's against your fucking religion, bro. It's against your religion to give up your allegiance to other countries. But what you can do is the practice of taqiyya and lie and say you've given up those allegiance so you can infiltrate the country and rape and murder their fucking children. That's the Muslim religion. Fuck you. Oh, you're being mean. You're not a Christian. They're not Christians. I don't have to be nice to anyone that's not a brother of Christ. Do you not understand that? You not understand that? It says, every time it says for you to be nice to somebody, your Christian brothers or sisters is in that context of that sentence. Do you understand? Tolerance is a sin in the Bible. This I have against you. You tolerate the Jezebel spirit. This I have against you. You tolerate the Jezebel spirit. This I have against you. You tolerate the Jezebel spirit and allow it to lead my children into sexual immoralities and depravities. So on the day of judgment, this I have against you. Your works were not of deeds. Okay? In the New Testament, a man should not wear a woman's clothes. A woman should not wear a man's clothes. Any who does is detestable in the sight of the Lord your God. You want me to repeat that? A man should not wear a woman's clothes. A woman should not wear a man's clothes. Any who does is detestable in the sight of the Lord your God. Okay? In the Old Testament, in the prophets, in order to love God, you must hate all things God hates. It's pretty freaking self-explanatory. Read Timothy 2, for you feminists out there. Read Timothy 2, 1 Timothy chapter 2, all the way through. Read it. Please. Please. I'm done with this puppy dogs and kittens bullcrap. I'm done with all the, the trolls always, I love it. That's my thrill in life, is to offend my trolls. And I have professional trolls that make entire campaign videos about me to talk shit about me. And they go on all of my social media. They even track down my customers. I mean, they go out of their way to spend their entire day doing nothing but thinking about me. And I'm just a little guy. I ain't got shit. You know what I mean? I'm a nothing nobody. And they call me a loser. But guess what? If I'm a fucking loser, how low on the totem pole are you for being in my comments, buddy? So let's get back into, let's go to my playlist. We get to listen to all this shit. Let's listen to Trump talk a little shit. Let's have some fun with that. Now, this will wake me the fuck up. We get back to being conquerors in America and colonizing some shit like we were supposed to be doing in the first place. This will wake me the fuck up. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. It does not say you must love all people like yourself at all. Nowhere. Find it for me. Find it for me. And don't just give me a verse. Give me the whole fucking context of the chapter. Please. Find it for me. I love fact-checking you people on the Bible. I love it. Yahweh Hashem Adonai Elohim Jehovah Rapha. Thank you. In the name of Jesus. The demons will squill and flee every single time. In the name of Jesus. Love it. Conquerors, man. Conquerors. You know what the Bible also says? You know what the Bible also says? Blasphemy of the Holy Ghost is an unforgivable sin. So the denial of a miracle of God is blasphemy of the Holy Ghost, holy blasphemy, blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, however you want to phrase it. Any denial of a miracle of God is blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. It's an unforgivable sin. Anyone that's committed holy blasphemy, Christian brothers and sisters don't have to be nice to. Where does it say that? Where does it say that? Or does it say the opposite? And you haven't actually ever read your Bible. You've just seen some verses on the internet. Because you cannot take any chapter and verse. You understand that, right? You cannot take the context of an entire chapter in the New Testament with just a verse. You have to put the entire context of the chapter into it. Because that is the context of the chapter. Okay? I'm going to take a little stroll with me. We're going to digress for a second because people want to talk about the Bible. I was preaching to some people today, so my Bible is on the dash in my truck. We had some transoids out and about on the streets today. It's the first time I've ever seen a trans person in my life. First time I've ever seen one in my life. They were just passing through the town. I said, that's probably a good idea. But I prayed for them. It's just the wrong times. I ain't got nothing against human beings, and whatever you do as an adult is what you do. But I'm going to tell you, the miracle of the human form, that is holy blasphemy. When you cut your body parts off and you disgrace God's temple, that is holy blasphemy. You're not a brother of Christ with me. Okay, I got my Bible in my hand. This ties directly into what we're talking about anyway. You know, first president in the history of time to say he doesn't even know if he's going to make it to heaven. That in itself, that truth bomb right there in itself, blessed me. So Leviticus, right? You said Leviticus 19:33 through 34. I'm sorry, guys. I digress. We will get back. Leviticus chapter 19. Man, I found that really quick, didn't I? 19, 33, 34, 19. Holy crap, why is that in such small lettering right now? (15, 17, 19, 33 through 34. Once again, I did tell you to do the whole thing, right? So 32 through 35. We'll go with 32 down because that's part of the chapter as well. Stand up in the presence of the elderly and show respect for the aged. Fear your God. I am the Lord. Do not take advantage of foreigners who live among you in your land. Is that what you're talking about? That's it? Yeah. Foreigners that are legally in your land, because the Bible also says you must obey your government because they are ordained by God, and whatever your laws are what you have to go by according to the Bible. That's dumb. That's what you did that for, right? Because it says don't take advantage. We're not. We're kicking them the fuck out. They're taking advantage of us. It works in both directions, right? Don't take advantage of a country that you flee to that's helping you. Don't take advantage. That's what that's for. Okay, so let's read the whole passage right here for you. Okay. This is for you leftists. Do not spread slanderous gossip among your people. Do not stand idly by when your neighbor's life is threatened. Do not stand idly by when your neighbor's life is threatened. You must get involved and do something. I am the Lord. Do not nurse hatred in your heart for any of your relatives. Confront people directly so you will not be held guilty for their sin. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? You didn't want to talk about that part, right? Because breaking the law is a sin in God's eyes, and these foreigners are breaking the law. So, you didn't want to read the whole context of the chapter, right? You fucking coward. I told you, don't give me verses because I'll read the whole chapter to you. So in that same chapter with those verses, do not stand idly by when your neighbor's life is threatened. Go kill the person. If it's at night, if it's during the day, you have to use a reasonable amount of force against them, is what the Bible says in the New Testament. Okay? Threatened. I am the Lord. Do not nurse hatred in your heart for your relatives, leftists. Confront people directly so you will not be guilty for their sin. So if you're sinning and you're doing what's wrong, the Bible tells me to confront you directly so I won't be held accountable for your sin. Because if I don't go at you and tell you what the Bible says, the good news of the Bible, and I don't stop you from committing that holy blasphemy, I will be held accountable for that because my works were not of the deeds. That's what the Bible says. Live by works, not by what I do and show you on the internet will get me a quick trip to fucking hell. If I record every single time I go out and help somebody or I commit works, because works and deeds are two different things, okay? Works of God and deeds of man are two different things. So if I go out and I brag about all the help I give to people, I'm not doing good works. Do you understand that? I'm not doing good works in God's eyes, and I will be judged negatively for that. People are like, oh, well, if I just do this, I'll be forgiven. No, Jesus also says when you go to heaven, God will weigh your works against your deeds. And if your deeds outweigh your works, you're going to fucking hell. Do you not understand that? Works and deeds are two different things. I'm glad I can explain that to you and read it directly from the Bible. Oh, man, I'm fucking bleeding like crazy. Oh, okay. But hold on. Let's keep going with that because do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against a fellow Israelite. Do you get that? A fellow Israelite. Do not hold a grudge. And in the Christian faith, it's a fellow Christian brother or sister. Okay? Does that explain it well enough for you? Okay, do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against a fellow Israelite. It doesn't say do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against a Canaanite. It doesn't say against a Philistine. It says against an Israelite. Okay. I am the Lord. Period. Okay. You must obey my decrees. Do not mate two different kinds of animals. Do not plant your fields with two different kinds of seed. Do not wear clothing woven from different kinds of thread. If a man has sex with a slave girl whose freedom has never been purchased, but who is committed to become another man's wife, he must pay full compensation to her master. So you bitch about slavery, but it's in the Bible and it tells you slaves obey your masters, masters be good to your slaves. But since she is not a free woman, neither the man nor the woman will be put to death. The man, however, must bring a ram as a gift offering and present it to the Lord at the entrance of the tabernacle. The priest will then purify him before the Lord with the ram of the guilt offering. This man's sins will be forgiven. When you enter the land and plant fruit trees, leave the fruit unharvested for the first 3 years and consider it forbidden. Do not eat. In the 4th year, the entire crop must be consecrated to the Lord as a celebration. If you follow this pattern, your harvest will increase. I am the Lord your God. So we've stopped doing that. And we have problems with crops. Do you understand? When we did this, we had abundant crops, plentiful crops. Okay. Do not practice fortune telling or witchcraft. Do not trim off the hair of your temples or trim your beard. You do understand this is the old Torah, right? Even though we have to obey the old laws of God, Jesus came for the new law of God. You understand that's how that works, right? Okay. I'm just making sure. Okay, we're almost done here. We'll get back to the news. Do not cut your bodies for the deed, and do not mark your skin with tattoos. I am the Lord. Do not defile your daughter by making her a prostitute, or the land will be filled with prostitution and wickedness. Look at what's happening in the fucking world today. Keep my Sabbath days of rest and show reverence toward my sanctuary. I am the Lord. Do not defile yourselves by turning to mediums or to those who consult the spirits of the dead. I am the Lord your God. Stand up in the presence of the elderly and show respect for the aged. For your God, I am the Lord. Now, you remember back where I gave you the context, right? Down here where it says I must get involved. Okay. And you that's the problem with being functionally retarded, is you don't understand what the concept of definitions, sentences, and words are. Okay. Do not take advantage of foreigners who live in your land. We're not taking advantage of foreigners. There's many foreigners that live here that came here legally. But those foreigners, you want to go back? You want me to reread you the context of that? It says I have to get involved, or I will be held accountable for these foreigner sins around me. Do you understand? I have to get involved. It's my duty as a servant of God to get involved and do something and say something. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? Treat them like native-born Israelites and love them as you love yourself. We're not in Israel. I'm not an Israelite. Remember that you were once foreigners living in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Once again, we are not Israel. We are not Israelites. Do not use dishonest standards when measuring length, weight, or volume. Well, you feminists are fucked. You body positivity people are fucked. And I love how they only point out that one part because the rest of the entire chapter goes against everything that leftists believe in, correct? Do not use dishonest standards when measuring weight, okay? The scale's weight must be accurate. Your containers for measuring dry materials or liquids must be accurate. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. You must be careful to keep my decrees and religions by putting them into practice. I am the Lord. So, that didn't say out of Palestine, did it? That said out of Egypt. Out of Egypt. Not out of Palestine. And that's, keep in mind, this is the times of Moses that is in Leviticus. Okay. So I think coming up to the very next one, I was absolutely correct. The Lord said to Moses, give the people of Israel these instructions, not the people of Palestine, the people of Israel. These instructions, which apply both to native Israelites and to the foreigners living in Israel. If any of them offer their children as sacrifice to Moloch, they must be put to death. Holy fuck! So if you've had an abortion, the Bible says, what? I myself will turn against them and cut them off from the community. Let me go back and read that for you. If any of them offer their children as a sacrifice to Moloch, they must be put to death. The people of the community must stone them to death. I myself will turn against them and cut them off from the community, because they have defiled my sanctuary and brought shame on my holy name by offering their children to Moloch. And if the people of the community ignore those who offer their children to Moloch and refuse to execute them, I myself will turn against them and their families, and I will cut them off from my community. This will happen to all who commit spiritual prostitution by worshiping Moloch, any other god. I will also turn against those who commit spiritual prostitution by putting their trust in mediums or in those who consult the spirit of the dead. I will cut them off from the community. You get it? Now, where does it say in this chapter that I must love you? Or does it say that I must cut you the fuck off and shun you as not one of the children of God? Literally what it says. So set yourselves apart to be holy, for I am the Lord your God. Keep all my decrees by putting them into practice, for I am the Lord who makes you holy. Anyone who dishonors father or mother must be put to death. Such a person is guilty of capital offense. If a man commits adultery with his neighbor's wife, both the man and the woman have committed adultery, must be put to death. So these are the laws of Moses in the Bible. You understand that, right? When you tell me to read Leviticus, these are the laws of Moses that were laid down by Moses. You know, the guy who parted the Red Seas and fucking destroyed the armies of the Pharaoh with a stick and the power of God. That guy. Okay, we're going to get back to the news. I digressed. I apologized. Thank you to whoever sent me that. I'm sorry. I was reading and I did not see it. But I hope that can you tell me where it says that in the Bible? And can you tell once again? Okay, I'm going to at 19, Mitch 19. Doesn't Jesus say to love everyone as I love you? Where does it say that? And what is the context of the whole chapter? The context of the whole chapter. Not just that verse, because that verse is part of the entire chapter. You understand, right? It's verse 1, verse 2, verse 3, verse 4, verse 5, verse 6 of chapter. So it's chapter 19, verses of that chapter. But they all go together to make the context of the entire chapter of that part of the Bible. You understand that, right? And then each book of the Bible, the whole book is the context of everything in all of those chapters. It's one verse isn't the context of that part of the Bible. That's just one thing that was said. And when you read that one verse and you don't put the rest of it in context, you're falling into what's called demonic grace, okay? When you only watch people on the internet talk about religion and all they do is read you verses out of the Bible, that's why the path is wide to go to hell and the path to get to heaven is narrow. It says the majority of people will go to hell. It says it because people teach you that Jesus said that you can sin up until the day that you're ready to die, and if you mean it when you say that you're sorry, that you will be forgiven and go to heaven. No, your works will be weighed against your deeds. God will stand before you. Jesus will stand before you with the book of life, okay? And he will weigh your works against your deeds. And if your deeds outweigh your works, you're going down. Just because you're a nice person, just because you're a good person, doesn't mean you're going to heaven. And I hate when these prosperity teachers teach you that God only loves, because God is a very wrathful, hateful God. He's destroyed the earth. You know what I mean? He flooded the entire earth and killed everybody. He poured fire and brimstone upon Babylon because of the whores of Babylon. That's the Jezebel spirit, by the way. I have this against you. You tolerate the Jezebel spirit and allow it to lead my children into sexual immoralities. We're not to build treasures on earth. We're to build treasures in heaven. And all the people riding around with all this money and that brag about all their money, that's building up treasures on earth, not in heaven. All these preachers with these mega churches, instead of leading people to heaven, they're leading people to hell. Okay? And that's a problem. I'm not trying to preach at you, but I mean, the reality of the situation is the Bible lays it out for you very clearly. The path is wide to hell, narrow to heaven. Okay? You could fit the eye of a needle, which the eye of a needle was a door that a camel could walk through back in that day in Hebrew tongue, by the way. It's not literally talking about what we call a needle. Okay? The doorway was called the eye of a needle. Okay? So the path is as narrow as the eye of the needle of how many people are going to heaven. It tells you how many people are, pretty much tells you how many people are going to go to heaven in the Bible. It literally has the numbers. Like it says, this many people from this tribe, this many people from this tribe, this many people from this tribe. But do you know why Israel wants America? Because Israel has to make the new Jerusalem before the end of times so they can have their chosen spot in heaven. So the new Jerusalem can come down out of heaven, the city of gold, and drop into the new Israel. That's why they want to take America. That's why everybody thinks Israel is trying to control America. They literally are. For the Bible. They literally are. And then, on the other hand, we're Christians. We're not Jews. We believe Christ is king. But the moral of the story is only Jews, you understand that, right? Only Jews can deny that Christ was king because they are the chosen people of God. That's why they can deny Christ isn't king. They can say he's not the Messiah because they had to wander for 42 years. Remember that? They had to wander through the desert. They were stripped from everything, stripped from their homes numerous times from Saul to King David, because they all started out righteous and anointed by God and all lived in the flesh and were human, and in the long run ended up turning out to be horrible people and going against God. And they were unanointed. Like Saul was unanointed, and like David infiltrated Saul's army for years before he became the king, but Samuel anointed him when he was a child. That's when he went. See, he was already in Saul's presence as Saul's singer, because David was also a beautiful singer and harp player. So, I'm sorry, you get me into the Bible, and I love the Bible. I'm passionate about it. The only difference between me and most of everybody else is I'm a piece of shit, sorry son of a bitch sinner. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a teacher. I'm just a man that will read you words from the Bible and tell you what they say. I'm not going to try to interpret it in any different way. I just read it to you exactly what it said, and that's what I told you it said. And that's all I will ever do. Okay. Dems work to block Trump's working class tax cuts. Of course they do. New York City, Mom Donnie. Oh, wait. Let's go listen to Mom Donnie talk some shit. First of all, I'm going to say, Mom Donnie, shut the fuck up. You're a mayor. You have no authority over anything, and nobody gives a fuck. You can't run for president. You'll never be able to make it to where you can run for president. We will literally go to war in this country before we allow a Muslim to become president of this country. You understand that, right? Okay, now that we've cleared that up, thank you. We will literally, see, you can call us fascist. We don't care. We don't care. Oh, you're a fascist. You want to overthrow us? Yeah, I do. I want to overthrow you. Absolutely. You're communist in America. You go against everything this country stands for. Absolutely. I want my president to overthrow you 100%. I want my president. Let me make it very clear for you, leftists. Let me make it very fucking clear for you. I want my president to mobilize the full force of the fucking military and do exactly what he just did to Venezuela to you. That's where I'm at. I would have never said that in the past, but that's where I'm at now. I'm tired of people trying to kill me. I'm tired of people vandalizing my shit. I'm tired of people murdering people in the streets. I'm tired of turning on the news every day and seeing 100 motherfuckers building bombs ready to murder everybody. I'm tired of seeing people wanting to fly planes into buildings. I'm tired of 27 different Muslim fucking Islamic inspired attacks in the past month. I'm tired of it. Charlie Kirk got assassinated. Donald Trump's 3 assassination attempts now. Fucking, it's just nuts. We're done. We don't care. The only issues we care about, and that's it. We're even laying off the economy right now because we would much rather the terrorists be gone because we can get the economy back. But we only have this one shot, besides the fact that Trump's going to probably use the fact that Maduro knows everything about the 2020 election because those were their fucking Smartmatic voting machines that we used in that fucking election. So, as we know, 3 different states last week, they got absolute evidence that hundreds of thousands and millions of ballots were 100% fraudulent, not signed. We've got sworn testimony from witnesses that were in the polling rooms and videos of people that were not polling people coming in and now putting flash drives into the Smartmatic machines at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. We've got all this evidence factual now of the 2020 election. And here's what I've noticed. Trump's very much so. If you go to social media, Trump's constantly talking about fucking the 2020 election. And then it dawned on me, holy fuck, if we can just delegitimize that election, those elections that were falsifies, if we can prove that that was illegitimate, he can run for another term. If he lost because of collusion and all of that stuff, legally, through the law side of it, he can run for another term. There's 2 or 3 different ways that a president can legally get a 3rd term. And yes, there have been presidents who have had 3 terms in America. It has happened. Like 1 or 2 other times it has happened. There are things that can be done. So understand the Insurrection Act happening, boom. Maybe we just get so much chaos in the country. Oops, I mean, something had to happen. But at this point, you're communist and socialist. You're not Americans. You're communist and socialist. Let me make that very clear. You're not an American. We don't see you as Americans. We see you as the enemy. That's it. We're at war with you. You're communist and socialist. And you're Muslims. You're our enemy. You've been our enemy for 10,000 motherfucking years when it comes to the Philistines and the Israelites. Okay. And then on the other half, it's illegal to run for office if you're a communist. It's illegal under the 1954 Communist Act. It's illegal to be in office in America if you're a communist. It's a federal offense. It's illegal. So you're our enemy. If you're a socialist, you're our enemy. There's only one option for you at this point as far as we're concerned. That's it. We don't want you in prison. You either got to be gone or you got to be gone. Gone or gone. There's only 2 options at this point. That's it. Okay? So we are the traditionalists for the actual history of America. We are red-blooded American patriots that love America. Not communist China, not fucking Venezuela, not fucking Ukraine, not fucking Palestine. We love America. You're enemies that back foreign countries. You're the enemy, and there's only one option for wartime enemies. And that's what you're going to get. You're not taking me seriously, but you need to pay attention. If Trump can do this in the middle of the night, the only reason we know about this, by the way, is because their side told us about it. If you start dissing up here, who's going to tell people about it? Nobody. Nobody. You think they're not planning on doing this? You think so? After everything you did to our president, do you really think he hasn't been making massive fucking moves behind the scenes? Like I said, though, the difference is we're strategic. We'll take you out in the middle of the night so nobody ever see what happens. We'll pay somebody to come after you. We won't even get our hands dirty. We're not stupid like you are. We don't post felonies on the internet, okay? And we're doing this with the full extent of the law. And by the way, the full extent of the majority of Congress just came out and 100% backed this Venezuela move. Oh. And by the way, Trump didn't need congressional approval because this wasn't war. This was Trump going in and arresting a dictator and a drug dealer. He didn't enact war on the country. He didn't go into the country and kill massive amounts of people. Regardless of your lies, we have the videos from Venezuela. We have people on the ground in Venezuela. All your lies, like they're posting shit from Chile in 2019, bro, and saying, oh, this is fucking Venezuela. No, it's Chile. You can clearly see the Exxon from the 2019 video in Chile, and you can clearly see them flying Chilean flags, not fucking Venezuela. Okay? You're too stupid to make anyone care anymore. You understand that, right? You leftists, nobody cares. Nobody cares what happens anymore. We did. For all these years, we've tried to tolerate you. We've tried to make it to where this wasn't going to happen to you. We tried to get you to coexist with us. You don't want to. You just want to murder us. You want to kill us. You're already calling for the impeachment and imprisonment of Donald Trump for going after a dictator that doesn't give free and fair elections in his country. But you people know all about cheating in elections, so you're cool with it, right? You can see the people they back tells you that everything we've said they've done is absolutely true, because that's what these people are doing in these countries. So it shows you what their beliefs are and what they stand for. When they say, oh, you're the fascist, when they tell us that. No, actually, legally, technically, you are the fascist left, and you're backing actual fascists. You do understand that the term fascist comes from communist and socialist dictators, right? You do get that, right? That's where the literal term fascist comes from. We called Hitler a fascist. We called Mao a fascist. We called Pol Pot a fascist. We called Stalin a fascist. That's literally where those terms come from. We call Maduro a fascist. Maduro's a fascist. And that's who you're standing up for right now. An actual fascist that literally stopped the elections in their country, that literally cheated, like Kamala Harris, who never had a single vote for herself. That bitch, that one, that literally has run for president 3 times now and is talking about a 4th. Come on. My lookout at this is it's going to be it didn't show a picture of Putin when you looked up fascist and did it really on the internet? I'm gonna look it up right now on the internet. Hold on. Did it really show a picture of Putin? Because technically Putin wouldn't be considered a fascist, because that's just how Russia runs. They don't have elections like that. The person before them, the KGB before them, didn't have an election either. Putin had to overthrow them. That's just how they do their elections. I'm not taking it for Putin by any means. Can't stand the motherfucker. I'm just saying. Okay, let's look up the definition of fascist and see what it comes up with on my phone. On this phone right here. Or if it even comes up with a picture. What is the definition of a fascist? Oh, you son of a bitch. Yeah, it literally caught all of that. What's the definition of fashion, all you son of a bitch? Fascist. Oh, God. Listen to this. Listen to liberal Google. I got the 1988 dictionary. I'll pull this up. And this fascist, a far-right authoritarian political ideology characterized by a dictator leader, centralized autocrat, militarism, suppression of opposition through terror and censorship, and an emphasis on an ultra-nationalist, often racially defined community, dictatorial power, a single leader with absolute control, which clearly isn't Donald Trump, because if he had absolute control, you'd all be dead, and we'd be better for it, you know? Militarism, the glorification of the military war and violence as necessary for national revival. You mean like Biden, who is shelling out billions to keep many different wars going? Keep saying Trump's in wars, but Trump keeps stopping wars. This isn't a war. We went in and we conquered a fucking country in 1 hour, bro. Fuck yeah. You understand we've conquered 19 countries in 1 year? We've conquered 19 countries in 1 year with no American casualties. Holy fuck, bro. That's some savage strategic shit right there. 19 different countries we've done something like this to. And they're better for it. Every one of them. Suppression of opposition. The forceful silencing of political dissidents. You mean like the left did to the right? Because y'all aren't censored from anything, and you never have been. The only people that have ever censored or canceled anyone is the left towards the right. Weird. Weird that all of these things fit right in with your ideologies, huh? I can pull up the comments you've made. Just vote blue and we can shut this guy up. We can cancel him, censor him from talking. That's literal fascism. Huh. Ultranationalism, intense nationalism that often promotes the belief of the superiority of one nation or race over others. Well, our nation is greater. We are nationalists. We're Christian nationalists. You know, we are nationalists. Our country is better than all the other countries. Otherwise, they wouldn't want to come here. Everybody would flee to another country that was better than ours. Nobody flees to other countries. They only flee here. They even flee from Europe to here. So we are a better country. Nobody says we're a better race except for you people. You people say the black people are better than everybody else. Remember, you're the only ones that judge anyone strictly based off of their race. It's the left. That's a fact. Okay? Corporatism, a political and economic system that emphasizes the collaboration between the state, employers, and labor unions to the exclusion of independent worker organizations. You mean socialism? You mean nationalism is the opposite of socialism? Of course it is. I'm a proud nationalist. I love my country. Fuck everywhere else. Glass them all. For all I care. Glass them all. If it means America's going to be better for it. I don't give a fuck. That's how I feel at this point. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Surround America with our fucking naval fleet. Cut everybody else the fuck off. That's how I feel about it. Cut them all off. We'll see who the best country is. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Let's do it. Venezuela's ours. How about this? How about this? When it comes right down to it, whoever has the force and the power to enforce something are the ones that are the supreme power, period. Let's see what country can conquer the most countries. Let's do that. Because we'll win. We could conquer the world if we wanted to. You understand that, right? We're America, motherfucker. We've got better arms than everybody. Oh, China's got this. China's got a bunch of bullshit, bro. China's got a bunch of shit that looks good. Have you seen the rocket launchers? It looks like a big sniper rifle that pirates them every time they fucking shoot anti-fucking tank bullets at us. Are you fucking stupid? None of you have ever even read a book, much less been in a war-torn motherfucking country and seen what real war is. You don't see what these countries are over here doing to these fucking people. You don't see what's happening in Venezuela. Right now, in the streets of Venezuela, hold on. Moderna makes announcement. New York City, Mamdani. Oh, Mamdani. Fuck Mamdani. CDC reports super flu. got some more super flu coming, guys. CDC reported the other day it's becoming a nationwide pandemic already. I told you about that a few weeks ago, remember? I said, look, Europe just announced it, so in 2 weeks, we're going to have the super flu in America, and it's going to be a problem, and more people are going to die from the super flu, even though you can't find any of these people. You can't even find any of these people that died of COVID. You know what I mean? You can't find it. You can find people that died of something else and had COVID while they died. You can't find any of these people that died, these thousands of people that died from COVID. Can't find it. Can't find it. Times Square's in protest, taking up for this dictator, which is crazy. Let's hear what the vice president of Venezuela has to say. This cunt.
The de facto leader there has now, for the first time, appeared on camera, demanding the immediate release of Nicolas Maduro and his wife, calling their capture a kidnapping. Right now, meantime, Maduro, in that image, you see him, it was posted by President Trump. He is on his way to the United States.
What are they spraying? Retard spray? Retard repellent?
Meanwhile, the vice president of Venezuela, Maduro's vice president, her name is Delcy Rodriguez. She just spoke. We've got the audio in now. I want to play for you.
Oh, you've got audio? You don't have a video, CNN?
We demand the immediate release of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife.
How about now?
The only president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Come and get him.
Coming out against Trump. And that is extremely significant, not just because
it's not significant.
Hours ago to the guy
let's make this very clear.
But also because
CNN's taking up, once again, for a foreign country, it's not significant. Not at all. None. Do you know why? Because she'll be killed if she doesn't do that. Not the CNN reporter, but the Venezuela fucking vice president. It's too late. We've got the motherfucker. He's ours. We've got him. Dude, if we get a public execution out of this, I'm going to buy some popcorn and I'm going to wherever it's at. And we're going to live stream it. Are we going to get a public execution out of this? Holy shit. You know what else it looks like? Put some big lightning looking white hair on him. And from what is that? Oh, the raccoon, PlayStation. I think what's his name? Oh, the raccoon. You're the thief. Putting soldiers there to stay is not going to last. You don't think so? Venezuela's ours now. We own it. It's ours. It's Americans. You know, it's America's. We own it. We just took it. You know, so do you not know what a regime change is? We have to, right now in the next 72 hours, 48 to 72 hours is the most important time in all of this. Because right now, there's already, and we've got the video, there's already rebels rising up to start a new regime and have functioning elections, and they want Donald Trump to help them make a constitution for their country. Fuck yeah, bro. Fuck yeah. Are you kidding me? This shit's fire, man. Fire. Do I agree with it 100% when I'm America first? Do I agree with it 100%? No. Am I cool with being a conqueror? Fuck yeah. Am I cool with America being savage after the fucking 4.5 years of just the biggest pussy you can see from the fucking moon of America that we've had? Strongly worded letters, American citizens being killed in other countries. I'm gonna send you a strongly worded letter and then I'm gonna go lick some fucking kids and fucking smell some ice cream, you know? Fucking weird people, man. You are weird fucking people. You think that Biden's administration that literally cowered to every fucking country and we accomplished nothing whatsoever. 19 countries we've conquered in 1 year. 19 fucking countries that were at war, that we stopped those fucking wars because of Donald Trump. Okay? I don't care about Ukraine. Everybody can do about Ukraine. I don't give a fuck about Ukraine. I don't care. I don't care. Let Russia take them. I don't give a fuck about Ukraine. None. Zelensky's a horrible, sorry human being. You know what I mean? Horrible person. They still haven't had another election in Ukraine, by the way. We see what kind of stuff you back. We see what kind of stuff you back. Ooh. But it's weird because you were all about putting boots on the ground in Ukraine when they were still in billions of our dollars, and we still don't know where that money went. And we gave them all of that military equipment and did no good for them. You know, they lost over 1 million. They lost their entire generation of young men. They don't have a population that can be rebuilt. What are they going to do? What's the point? They've already lost. Ukraine has lost. They no longer have a population. They're literally, people are coming home to visit their families, fighting age men, and they're literally taking them in vans off the fucking street and forcing them on the front lines of this war because they don't have any more soldiers because they've all been killed by Russia. So, I mean, either you can get your heads out of your ass and look at the truth of that situation. Russia's won that war, period. Plain and simple. But it's none of our business. That's not America. Ukraine's not America. I would prefer not to be in Venezuela, but if we're going to do it, let's conquer it. You know what I mean? I want America first. Let's make that very clear right off the fucking bat. I want America first. I want Trump to do what he's doing in all these other countries to you motherfuckers. That's what I want in America right now. All you people that hate this country so much, get the fuck out. We need to force them out. We can't have a country if we have half a population that hates the country and wants to import a bunch of foreign terrorists here. And that just willfully, they're all suicidal. All of this generation is suicidal. Every one of them. Because they want to bring cultures here that want to murder them in the long run. They won't have we won't have a country in 20 years. You understand that, right? If we let this generation continue the way it is, we will not have America any longer once we get older. Once Generation X is gone, we don't have a generation that's going to fight for this country anymore. Nowhere. Tell me, where? First of all, we don't have a large enough population with the new generations to even fight for this country. So when my generation's too old to be in the military anymore, that's all she wrote. We don't have enough people for the military. We gotta have robots. Or it's just not going to be America anymore. America's over, bro. There's no way. I keep trying to tell y'all, there's no way to bounce back from this population collapse. No country in the history of time has ever bounced back from a population that literally aborted a third of their population right off the bat. A third of the population gone. That's not including all of these fucking sissy kids that have unalived themselves. That's not including all the fucking fentanyl overdoses, all the kids eating Tide Pods and being retarded. I mean, Gen Z has demolished itself, and Gen Alpha is much worse. It's half the size of Gen Z. We literally don't have enough. I have to work until I'm 127 years old to keep this country growing, bro. You're going to have to put some fucking robot legs on me and a robot heart in me so we can keep this shit fucking going, you know? That's the sad fact of the matter. That's the sad fact of America right now. These kids think social media is going to get them something. So the internet's done. It's dead. I damn sure don't do this for money anymore. If you notice, the majority of social media personalities have not been on the internet since Christmas. They're done. Like, they're in Tampa right now. Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, Jack Posobiec, all of the big names right now. They're at a conference in Tampa, fucking Florida, deciding if they're going to continue to do social media anymore. It's only going to be little guys like me out here. Well, Steven Crowder's going to be out here, but he don't do YouTube no more. He only does Rumble. I can't get followers on Rumble. You know what I mean? Oh, this guy's a moron, but you're in my comments. You're in my comments. Can you debate me? Can you give me any facts? Can you give me any evidence on your side whatsoever? Any factual information? That's all they can do is insult. They can't give any factual information on anything. Nothing. They have nothing they believe in. You're the enemy. You're the enemy. You won't be here in the next 3 years. You understand that, right? That's how this is panning out right now. You won't be here anymore. I don't have to worry about people like you. You just won't be here anymore. Our president's going to take care of you for us. We're going to deal with this shit. You see, you'll watch. And if he doesn't, we literally will. So either way, you're either gone or you're gone. I would start getting passports while y'all can. Because we're going to stop that too. They already talked about it. You need to watch the news. You need to pay attention to what's going on. We're going to stop you from leaving the country and we're going to round you the fuck up. Prove me wrong. That's what you've been saying this whole time. We might as well do it, right? If that's who you believe we are, we might as well be those people, right? If all you want to do is murder people and bring socialists and communists and fucking Muslims to our country, we can't allow you to move any further forward. It's got to be backwards from here on out. That's it. Or we just collapse the entire country and watch you all fucking die off because you can't support yourselves or feed yourselves. Either way, you do realize 4,000 people can collapse a country, right? You realize that. 4,000 people coordinated can collapse a country overnight. You just have to know what the fuck they're doing. So calm down. Wake the fuck up. Pay attention to what's going on in the world and understand. Facts like... What? Lewis? What? Oh. Shadows, is that the best you got? Is that the best you got? That's all you can do, really? That's all you got? Because you don't know a motherfucking thing about me at all, or everything I've been through because of people like you, clearly. Okay, you people have shot me 3 times in the past 5 years. You burnt my house down with me sleeping inside it. You burnt my RV down with me and my dog sleeping inside it. You burnt my Trump store up. I don't care what you think I sound like. What I care about is the actions that are going to get taken. So all of this is fine. It's all good and well. But I've gotten 1,800 of you put in prison for the rest of your fucking life in the past 5.5 years. 1,800 of you pedophile, groomer pieces of shit. And I'll keep coming and keep coming and keep coming until I can't come anymore. I'm going to win so much that I can't win anymore. We already are. We already are. There's literally, if we just decided today, right now, that we weren't going to allow you to do anything anymore, we could literally accomplish that. If every patriot just stood the fuck up right now and said, oh, you can't vote anymore. You can only vote because the people that enforce things allow you to. You can only do things because we allow you to do them. There's nothing you can do enforcement-wise towards us. The left doesn't have the enforcement power. We do. You understand this, correct? We're the ones that are out here every day working and building our muscles and training and fucking breaking ourselves down to the point where I can lay in a hole for 5 days with no food and no fucking water and wait with that fucking scope sitting on you. 5 days. I'll shit and piss on myself. You don't have that kind of testicular fortitude. We do. That's the difference. You know what I mean? I don't have to be eye to eye with you. This is war. War isn't fair. I'll throw dirt in your fucking eye and then stab you in the nose with a pen. War isn't fair. War is dirty. War is messy. Well, there's rules of combat. That makes no sense. Rules of war? But Kamala, most definitely, listen, if Kamala were in office, you'd all be dead by now. We would have rose up. Within a year, shit, we would have rose up by now. You understand that, right? You don't understand. You can't physically stop us if we decide to tell you to go fuck yourself. There's nothing you can physically do to us. You can't stop us. Kamala Harris can't stop us. The United States government couldn't stop us. You understand? There's over 42 million guns in the American citizens' hands, and in the militias in Florida, there's what? 79 million people in the militias of Florida that train every single day together. Something like 200 billion rounds of ammunition. So, including high explosives. My buddy that lives half a mile from here owns a tank and 5 rocket launchers, bro. Don't talk to me about you can't stand up to the military. I know a guy that has a fucking F-15 and 2 Chinook helicopters in his fucking hangar over here in Port Charlotte, Florida, dude. Don't tell me we couldn't stand up to the United States military if you want to. I got friends that have $10 million fucking arsenals, bro. You don't know what you're talking about when it comes to the American citizen at all and how savage we fucking are. You do understand there's a larger majority of Afghan veterans out here right now than anybody else, right? This is our generation. This is our future right now. This is our time. This is my generation's time. There's more of us than there are of you. Even left in I'm 43. Even what's left in my generation, there's more of us than there are of your entire population. You get that, right? So, listen. We conquered Venezuela. We're gonna wrap things up. But we conquered Venezuela. We're gonna continue to conquer more countries, and we're gonna conquer the inside of our country while we're at it. There's nothing you can do. You can protest in the streets, but as you've seen, federal officers are now shooting you. We're cool with that. You're gonna try to fucking impede laws, impede America, bring communists and socialists and fucking Muslims to our country? We're going to eradicate that shit. That's what America does. We're savage conquerors. Nothing else. We're not a peaceful country. You want to live in a peaceful country? Go somewhere else. You know why? Because America gets involved in everybody else's wars. That's what America does. We're the world's daddy. We're always at war. You can't be America and not be at war because we guarantee the safety of the whole fucking world. And the whole fucking world is at war. As long as the Middle East exists, there's going to be war. Do you understand that the Middle East has never been at peace, ever? The people that conquered and colonized the most fucking square footage of land would be the fucking Muslims and the Arabs. You understand that, right? They conquered the entire Middle East. None of that was theirs. None of it. None of it. They fought a war. They're still fighting wars. 10,000 years the Muslims have been at war. 10,000 years. Talk about America. 10,000 years the Muslims have been at war. No such thing as a peaceful Muslim country. It doesn't exist anywhere in the fucking world. Nowhere. Show me where there's a peaceful Muslim country at. Show me some facts. Show me one Muslim country that doesn't legally allow you to rape little children or fucking kill faggots. Show me one. Only America, the Christian nation, it's the only place that will allow anybody to be the way they want. Now, you can't even be a Muslim in fucking a lot of other countries. How many countries banned Muslims today? Let's go look. They banned women from wearing burqas. They said, if you come to our country, you can either assimilate to our country or you can get the fuck out, period. And that's what America needs to get back to. You can either assimilate to America, because that's the law in America. That's the actual law here. You have to assimilate, or you don't get to come here. That's the law. You give up all allegiance to other countries and you assimilate to American culture. You can't live in America. That's the law. We just need to enforce it. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. Let's go. Ban on Europe. Let's just pull this up and see what it is. Oh, right there. Right there. French burqa ban. The French banned burqas too. Can't do that shit. You want to be a Muslim? You got to go to a fucking Muslim country. Because it's not, yeah. Bye, left. They're done. They're finished. Listen, we're always a couple years behind what's happening on immigration in Europe. Europe is finally fed up. They're now literally banning Muslims because they realize, you do understand what's going on in Europe, right, leftists? And fucking, they've literally been taken over by the Muslims, and now the Muslims that have been able to take over are enacting their actual laws and showing who they really are, and they're raping and killing everybody in their country. And if you even look at them the wrong way, they will beat you to death in the streets of Europe right now, in Germany, Ireland, all over the place. So now they have made it illegal to be a Muslim in those countries, pretty much. If they said flat out, and France, right here, this one in France, burqa ban. is legal and will stay because Muslims aren't compatible with anybody's country except for a Muslim country. That's the fact.
A European court has ruled that France's ban on full face veils does not breach religious freedom. That means the so-called burqa ban is legal and will stay. The ruling by the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg was in relation to a case brought by a woman described as a devout Muslim who wears the burqa for religious, personal and cultural reasons. France has the largest Muslim minority in Europe, around 5 million. And some of the continent's most restrictive laws about expressing faith in public. France was the first EU country to pass a law banning the burqa. Belgium later passed a similar law. Italy and the Netherlands are expected to follow suit. French officials say the covering of one's face is a security risk because it prevents people from being identified.
It's illegal to wear a mask on your face in Florida in public.
Is liable to a fine of 150 euros or lessons in French citizenship.
Since like the 1950s, it's been a law in the books here. Okay, Japan. Let's go to this. Japan. I know, I saw I was getting off here. I'm still getting off here. Everything to do with being Muslim. They can't practice the religion. Watch. Japan will deport Muslim immigrants. Here we go. Here we go.
Tensions are rising once again, not in Europe, not in America, but this time in Japan.
Okay,
borders,
these are the people of Japan.
Politics. Western countries and Japan offer what their homelands often cannot: quality education, accessible healthcare, and strong economies. The United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs reported that by the year 2000...
Hold on. We'll go to another one. I don't like that one. That one, I don't like those AI fucking... Islam is banned in Japan.
Islam is banned in Japan. This statement can often be found on the internet. In fact, Japan's migration policy for Muslim countries is no different from others. Several universities offer their students the opportunity to study Arabic and other languages spoken by Muslims. There are more than 100 mosques throughout the country, and
that's old. Hold on. They just banned them recently. Japan will deport Muslim migrants. Japan's Muslim community struggles to find burial grounds for the dead. Okay, clearly this liberal shit. Hold on, let me Google it. What the fuck? Why'd that pop up so tiny like that? Ah. Oh, God. See, Google won't give it to me. Let me pull it up on the fucking thing. God damn it. Let me pull it up on the fucking phone. I just fucking pulled up the article earlier today. They just did it this morning. Japan's prime minister says Muslims... Oh, God. Okay. Japan's prime minister says Muslim... God damn it! I'm gonna throw this fucking phone, dude. Japan's prime minister says Muslims must comply with their cultures or get out. I was wrong about that one. I can admit I'm wrong when I'm wrong. It's a viral fake video that some people in Japan made because they don't want Muslims there. But I wasn't wrong about European company. Oh! Hold on. European company. God damn it. I need to eat dinner. European countries banning Muslim practices in their country. What are you doing, Kieran? You okay? Calm down. Get up and get your water. Get up. Get up, man. Get up. Get up. I'm not arguing with people. Calm down. Oh. I love how they keep saying, get away from me. Get away from me, please. Don't do that. You know better. European countries legalizing Islamophobia, limiting religious practices of Muslims, say experts. France, Australia, and Denmark. Most Islamophobic. What the fuck does that even mean? Nobody fears Muslims. We hate them. There's a difference. It's funny because every white country is saying the same thing right now. Muslims are fucking evil. Muslims are fucking evil. Every white country is saying the same thing right now. That's fucking hilarious, bro. Muslims are fucking evil. Their practices are evil. Their practices are against everything every country believes in. My favorite part of the day was watching the Irish go kick around the Muslims while they're trying to fucking pray. Because they decided to just go sit in front of your shit. They're doing that to instigate you. You don't just go to a Christian church and start praying to a devil in front of a Christian church. It just doesn't happen. We beat devils. You know what I mean? Listen, you guys have a blessed night. Everybody be safe. I got to take my dog for a walk because she's over here doing that.